Okay. Hey, looks like I'm on the screen. Good. Step 1 complete. Start streaming. Step 2. Spam where I can. I need to just have like a file telling me where I can spam. That would also mean that like I would do things when not streaming, which I'm not convinced I would do. I should pay more attention to this stuff. Okay, so no, not that one, not that one. Oh, that's something I'm gonna have to look at. I am thinking about getting an Aster. I would like type test final decision maker, please expand time frame. Alright, JM said okay, Pepe okay, so yeah, I do want to look at the Aster Ergo TKL. That's I think that would be pretty cool. But I want to hear a sound test. Just to confirm. If it does sound like the CML, I'll probably jump on it. Yeah, I was supposed to try to figure out where can I advertise myself? I think I just like missed every place I could. Whatever. What am I putting here? Space80. Guess I should have more than just Space80 build. And probably no foam. I don't think I'm going to try to have any foam, so I'll start spamming that. That's a good message, I guess. I don't know what a good message is. I just make messages and send them out. So recently I also got in Neo 87 from Cherry B from Vietnam. Interested in that board, want to build it. Don't have a plan for it, so I'll have to actually make a plan for it. Yeah. Is what it is. Text discussions, Kikumoto Unji. Wait. Is this Hero? I never remember who has or doesn't have a stream section. My memory is like a goldfish. I definitely need to get more sleep. Alright. Create cubes, no. CCM Studios. I don't remember. Prototypist, I don't think does. Canon Keys does not. Who else does? I guess I can always put stuff in KFA chat in general. I mean, I don't know. No one's told me off there yet. They're very nice people. There we go. Post Owl Labs as competitor board, whatever. Mr. Gion. Always lovely. 1Q Studio. For some reason I thought they had. Did they not? They might not have had. They don't. Okay. Hey, Parallel Element. Forgot about them. Am I allowed to do anything in Gray Studios? I don't even know. Let's take a look at their roles. They don't have roles. Announcements are literally just announcements. There we go. Read the fact. This is the only channel to see in the Discord. Please read this channel again. Then it has the Kick W dog. Space80 resources. QMK. Is this not via... I should probably have looked into this beforehand. Hexes. Huh. Well, if I need to do that, that will make my night a little bit longer. Not the worst thing in the world, though. I don't know, they don't have a general chat, do they? Past group buys. I don't see a Space80 place that I can just dump this into. So did other people post builds and stuff in here? I don't remember. Let's not bother. I'm not sure about their terms. I don't feel like bugging people. And then finally Zeus' server, because I always spam Zeus' server. Alright. And with that, I think I'm done. Close that. Alright. So I was going to have a Space Theme desk mat, but I don't really remember where I have all my Space Theme desk mats besides the NASA one, which I've already used previously. So this is the Mecha desk mat. So let's start getting to the build process. Move this keyboard back. So we have the Space80 Apollo box. I previously unboxed this. Didn't actually unbox everything, but let's take a look at what we got. Let's talk about what I think I'm going to do tonight. So here we have FR4 plate. Looks pretty nice. Silicone already attached. Okay, noted. Then we have switch sound dampening kit. So I guess this is PE foam, pour on, and switch pads. Cool. Probably not going to use it. What else we got? Put this back in here. PCB. I'll have to test this out. Put this on my keyboard. Then we have two things in here. This is a pour-on foam pad and PC plate. I'm going to attempt to build this with only the PC plate, no other foams. Let's see how that turns out. We'll take a little bit of inspiration from our Lord and Savior Teha types. This is another layer. I'm not going to probably use the spacebar stuff. Feet I will need. Gaskets I will need. And the case. So put the case up there. Taking our look at that in a few minutes. And continue disassembly to get to the toolbox. Oh, dropping things. I didn't actually open this up yet. Let's take a look. It should have a screwdriver and some other stuff in it. Stabilizer pads. Tweezers. Hardware. 2 bits. Black feet. And the screwdriver. Nice. Screwdriver's interesting. I will continue using my titanium KBD fan screwdriver though. Put this back in the bag for the moment. If I can. Feels nice. Doesn't feel the best, but you know, is what it is. LED diffuser. Plate locator. Oh, these go like in between the plate. I'm not sure if that really is necessary. LED diffuser. Is this just an extra? Looks to be just an extra. Put that back. Stabilizer pads. I think I already have stabilizer pads, so whatever. Spare components. We have. Oh, interesting. We have that SMD diode. We have, okay, the various sort of LEDs. Cool. Hey, this is even branded Gray Studios. I'll keep this in here to keep it in one place. I don't think I'll need it tonight, but you know, cool. Good to see that this does have pretty nice toolbox with a whole bunch of stuff in it. Oh, I guess I should put the extra feet back in there. Alright. Come on. Close box, close. There we go. Can I put you back together? There we go. No, maybe? Yeah, okay. So tight fit for that. What goes next? Probably this. Various foams, FR4 plate and foam. And the silicone dampening pad. And the box. It's very nicely packaged. But again, probably won't be using. Oh, I forgot to put these back. I might actually use these bits for tonight. If they're multiple sizes, just makes it easy. So we have the feet. We have gaskets. I'll have to see if it's going to be easier to put it directly on the case or directly on the plate. So I'm going to be using the PC plate to build. I just think this is interesting. Again, I'm going to try my best not to use any foams, but we'll see what happens. We have the PCB. This is Gray Studios' own PCB. We have LEDs on the side to go with the side diffusers on the kit. We also have the front LEDs for the accent, so those account for the 2 different types of LEDs. We have options for different bottom rows. I'm going to be using 7U Sangan. Yeah, looks interesting. Also, we have flex cuts on the alpha rows. Should be interesting. Of course, the heater kicks on tonight. Sorry. Alright, first things first, let's test the PCB. Guess I'll leave the plate for now too. Where's this other cable? Here it is. Ooh, shiny. that's gonna hit buttons. I don't know what F10 does on this, but... So, let me load up VIA. I should have done this before. Cool. Well, no, that's H87A. Does it have this board? So if I unplug IU, searching for devices, unplug, replug. I don't know if this has a VIA port. If it doesn't have a VIA port, not in the world, is what it is. Guess that means I would have to open up Discord again. Sorry. And let's go back up to Gray Studios. They have Apollo, and they have the FAQ there for resources. QMK, GitHub, Firmware, Master, Gray Studios. Keymap, CH. Which one's C, which one's H? I guess I can show this on the screen. Keymaps, configuration H, JSON, info, readme. Alright, what's the readme say? Build firmware using MSys. Matrix, use the escape, top left the keyboard, plug, unplug, replug. Escape, key code, layout, okay. ADC, what? Hold on. Oh, I can open it and download into VIA. Okay. Hasn't been merged in repository yet, so I need the above JSON file. I think that's this one. That's VIA hex, there we go. This is the one I probably need. Let me save it somewhere. VIA. If it already exists, fine, whatever. I'll overwrite it because I don't know where it is. Okay, so does that mean I can configure file, import keymap? I don't have a keyboard plugged in, so I need to now manually find it. What did I just save this as? Space80. Wait, did it not save as a JSON file? That'd be slightly more annoying. VIA hex, save as. So it does save as a text file. No, it saves as a hex file. Where's the JSON at then? Caps lock disable badge. Alright, so let me locate this in my downloads file. Apollo VIA. Properties. Sorry, .hex. Wait, but it says it needed a JSON file. Wait, my brain's breaking here. Alright, so let me download this file. Go to file. Oh god, how'd they organize this? This code. That's for QMK. Which one's this? Include H, includes, that's the quantum layout, configuration. Oh wait, he literally included it right there. I'm dumb. Alright, where's VIA? VIA, import Keymap. This one. Okay. I will forget that. Next time I have to do it. Alright, I better put IU somewhere safe. Let me grab the case for that. Alright. Alright, with IU safely being put away, we can concentrate on this now. Caps lock, layers, I don't like that there. That's now MO1. Layer 2. RGB and stuff. I don't want RGB and stuff to be up there. What do we have? RGB toggle. Bright. So let's make this bright minus, bright plus, sat minus, sat plus, hue minus. No. Should be U plus, then RGB mode. Which one is this? Minus RGB plus, and we'll make that toggle, I guess. This will then be passed down. We have this being our N key rollover. Guess I'll make this one caps lock over here. And of course I always will make this WASD my arrow keys for the first layer, just because it's convenient for me to do it. Alright, layouts. 7U, that's Sanguine, not actually win keyless. Hopefully those keys work. Split backspace, no. Left shift, nope, 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 nope. Okay, macros, don't care. And key tester time. Is it cold or something? Why is my heater working so hard tonight? So this does not have step caps. Interesting. Or no, it does. Alright, I will probably end up using step caps. These lights are a little bright, but they should look good when it's all said and done. Yeah, it feels good to finally be building another keyboard. Finally found a little bit of time to do it for myself. In theory, I probably should be doing work tonight, but who wants to work? Ugh. Okay, everything is working. And remind me not to close this because I'll have to re-side load everything. Alright. That was a fun adventure. I am just a little bit dumb tonight. Apologies for the super slow start there. Okay. Next things are stabs. I've already have these prepared. These are stabies. And we'll throw them on the board. So these are lubed and tuned. Basically just balancing the wires, 205 grade 0 on the housing, and XHT BDZ on the wires. Pretty standard stuff. Why are you not coming out? Okay, there we go. So we got the 7U. So I've learned that these screws don't exactly 100%, at least for the V1 and V2 stabies, don't exactly fit my Wea bits. So I'll probably end up looking for another bit to use for these because it's just slightly inconvenient when they just sort of wobble out of place just ever so slightly rather than just screwing in satisfyingly. Does mean I won't over tighten them, but it is annoying nonetheless. Or when they just come off the top of the screw like that, that's super annoying too. So I have been sitting on this board for a while, wanting to build it. Finally sort of made the time for myself today to do this. Like most of my boards, I buy stuff when I'm looking forward to things, but, you know, real life and actual time whenever I get the chance is not always as convenient. I had been thought about, like, doing build services at some point in the near future, but with my available lack of time to even build boards I want to build for myself, I don't feel confident in even opening those up or advertising them at all. So if I'm able to find time consistently to do this again, I might. At which point I'll probably have a Google Forms and go through the process of writing sort of, well, contracts, I don't know what else to call them, just to make sure everything's done right. But anyways, that's future aspirations, so long as I find the time to do it. The real issue is I probably won't have time to do it if I don't have time to build my own boards that I was looking forward to. Speaking of boards I'm looking forward to that I'm looking to build in the next few weeks. So CL, that was the Bakaneko 60 with the brass weight from Chicken Man. I do want to build that one coming up soon. I think that'll be a pretty fun and good board. And I just got another board, Cherry B's Neo 87 TKL. Looking forward to that one too. Interesting stuff to it. 100% original. It's, yeah, I guess you could say that. I don't think it's the most interesting board, but I'm thinking it'll be a good board, especially for the price. TKLs are usually on the more expensive side. This one I got was from Cherry B. It wasn't the full brass one. That seems like it, well, I'm never sure if full brass is a good idea for a keyboard, but unless you want a showpiece. If you want a showpiece or a statement piece, I mean, go for it. But not so sure that it's good for the practical everyday keyboard. All right. At some point, oh, there it is. Drop the washer. Yeah, at some point I need to go back into Epidemic Sound and find some more tracks to listen to. I like smooth jazz. I sort of like the easygoing vibes, especially after working. So, but would like to find other things to also play, smooth jazz wise, probably. Ugh, I'm getting XHT BDZ on my fingertips. Never a fun time. And why is that? Sometimes these alignment holes, especially as they get more and more Swiss cheesy, to fit more different combinations of keys and key maps. Stabs get a little bit harder to do cutout wise. Oh man. Here's a problem where it's just slightly not the right size for this bit. Okay, got it. If I can get it started, I can get it finished. Just making sure that the threading is actually proper and I'm not like cross-threading or doing anything dumb to it. Be a dumb way to ruin a housing, and then I'd have to re-lube at least the housing. And last, backspace. So I remember buying this board originally and saying, oh, Stormtrooper white. This will be a pretty easy themed board, just go with black and white keycaps and whatever. And luckily GMK Hennessy happened to be about the same time, so jumped on that and I was like, easy, done. But there's some other combinations out there that I saw with the weight. That looks pretty good too. So I'm not dead set on it only being, you know, the most boring vanilla Stormtrooper recreation keyboard ever, but at least it still interests me for now. Need to figure out the exact combinations I want to put on CL, and then start thinking about other boards that are coming up in the not so distant future. Or I guess even for the board I have now, like the Neo 87. No clue what I want to put on that. Might end up putting either, I have some Bolsa black on white next to me. This was their B stock stuff, so I might put that on there. I don't know. I'll have to see. Alright, I should probably test out stabs with switches I will be using. So black cherry pie for the space bar, and these are Gateron Oil King switches. I guess I'll grab the plate here. And the all important fork. So these are my first time using the Gateron Oil King switches. To be clear, I had these for a little bit now, and these are definitely smooth switches stock. I have spring swapped them for Kinetic Labs symmetric springs, and these are lubed and filmed with 205 grade 0 and Desky films. They do sound pretty deep. They do sound a little bit on the muted side. I don't think they're going to be overly muted. And I definitely went for a lighter load, or lighter coat of lube on them, so they wouldn't get overly muted. But we'll see how they turn out, because I think this board might end up on the darker or more muted side anyways, so. After consulting with Teha Types video, I think this board might be on a little bit on the quiet side, but should be deep and satisfying in all the ways that usually like polycarbonate plate boards to be deep and satisfying. The switch is popping out. Can I get you back in here, or do I have to fight you? Alright. Let's get the corners in. Sure these are nice and clipped in. Okay. And I think this is all to the right side if I remember anything from other builds. I should have this memorized by now. I just don't. I'm terrible at this. My memory is not what it used to be. So if this is on the right side, spacebar's here, then this should also be on the right side, I think. I'll have to actually pull out keycaps and test this theory of mine out, because honestly, my memory is gone. Okay. Plate fork. Thank you for helping. Alright. Put one more above the space bar as well. help hold it into place. And let's put one more. No, I probably don't need that one. Alright, GMK Hennessy keycaps. Brand new in box, need to open these up. So recently they restocked the Omni type storage bins for keycaps. I immediately jumped on that because I don't use GMK boxes to store any of my keycaps unless they're brand new in box. And I'm running out of storage bins for my keycaps. Sad but true. Okay, GMK Hennessy, looking pretty nice. So, I'll need this shift, this shift, this enter, backspace, and the space bar. Ooh. And the bottom row stuff. So did I get this right? Is it to the right? Genuinely curious. Not even asking for a friend, asking for myself because I feel dumb tonight. This goes here, and alt should go here. Cool. So is this on the right hand side then? I'll know by just putting this one here. Alt. Or is it to the left? It appears to be to the left. Good thing I checked this. So it is to the left, alright. Switch puller. Control. Yeah, it would go on there. All right. Okay. Sorry if I'm bumping the mic. All right. Take the headphones off and take a listen. Alright, don't hear rattling. Good sign. Take these keycaps out, put them back in. Actually, I already put it away, so I guess I'm just stashing them over here now. Fair enough. Do a quick check for sanity on this. Alright, spacebar might need some straightening after the fact then. Could be the black cherry pie, it could also be Stabies. Stabies round 1 was a little bit on the tight side for them, for long pull switches. Shouldn't be too bad though. I was doing a little bit of seesawing with the keycap there, but it didn't look terrible. Ugh. What are you doing? Why are you clipping in so well for that one? But not the other one below it. Crazy. Okay. All right. Let me move this. Guess I should get the soldering mat. This is probably better so I don't damage my desk mats. Big silicone soldering mat. Sure everything's clipped in for the mods. Okay. And now the process of putting the other switches in. I'll be using the plate fork. Probably one of the best things ever for just clipping things in correctly with flexible plates. Might need to put some pressure on the board while building it to make sure everything's laying nice and flat. Doesn't look too bad, but just to be safe rather than sorry later. Come on, get in there. What are you doing? All right. Black cherry pie. They're only really for the space bar. Alright, plate fork, do your thing. Make this magical and easy. If I can get you past the flex cuts, holy crap. Flex cuts. What are you doing with flex cuts? Okay. Flex cuts were holding up the switches. Or the switch plate fork. Now that it's in there, should be easy building. So I'm taking heavy inspiration from our Lord and Savior Teha types build. and going for the no foam thing. I had wanted to go no foam in this anyways. So I do have a PE foam board coming up that I am looking forward to, Glacier 80. So I don't want to have more than like 1 or 2 PE foam boards at any given time. I have the Thera 75 I really like. I've skipped all the Alchemy Lab boards, so I don't have a really marbly PE foam sounding board. I'm hoping the Glacier 80 fits that nicely. So rather than using PE or EVA foam on this build, just want to do it all natural, see what happens. See where we end up tonight. And with Oil Kings being on the more muted side, I didn't want to change the sound too much. I want to see how this sounds actually. PE plate, no foam. With this case, should be pretty good, I think. I'm predicting this will be a decent sound I won't have to do too much to. But we will see. If that assessment changes by the end of the night, so be it. If not, I'll be happy. I forgot to look if I have step caps with Hennessy. Before I solder, I better check. So for anyone that doesn't know what this plate fork is, it basically is an extra support to go between the PCB and the plate, especially if you're not using any foams or anything and you have a flexible plate, just to help you clip in switches in your build. So you can hear them clipping into place. Switches have clips on the front and back, and they should be fully in and clipping into your switch. So you should see the front, if you look from the front angle, into the plate clipping against it, and the back should almost pop through the back. On harder material plates with the right thickness, they will actually clip into the back. For some of these softer plates, they might not necessarily do that. But you want to make sure they're in the plate, so giving them a good hard press never hurts. And using a plate fork just helps provide that little bit of extra consistency so you don't have wonky or weird sounding keys. Being a solder build, it's probably less of an issue, but still, you could always have weird things come up if things are not seated properly. So I usually just opt to use things like this to help me out to build, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, I see another black cherry pie hiding in this stash of switches. Originally I built all my black cherry pies to go into one specific board. I was going to put in the Tomo whenever that comes from Monocade. However, I'll probably just end up using them bits and pieces in builds like this for space bars. I do like the sound quite a bit. It has a hard hitting and satisfying bottom out and switch noise sound. So not to say that I haven't planned anything special for my Tomodachi board, but I have another switch in mind that I want to do. Another Franken switch. Something different. So looking forward to that board still. So when I was looping and filming these switches, I just kept thinking, man, these sound so smooth. I don't hear anything about them that's going on when I'm pushing and actually the switches after I loop and film them. they sounded clean in that way, but at the same time, I just, part of me kept thinking, I miss some of that cherry scratch. And originally I was joking around on the Keeps for All Discord, saying that, you know, if they ever restock a lot of MX Black switches, I'd be likely just to buy a whole tray. I don't think that's a joke anymore. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I probably would just buy a whole crap ton just for fun. Because out of every switch, I know I have the most MX Blacks out of any other switch. I have just over 1,000 of them, either in use or waiting to be used in other builds. So if I add an extra 1,000 by buying an entire tray of MX Blacks, that would be a thing. I'm not sure where I'd put them all though, so I wouldn't. That's the only thing that really holding me back from buying them, is having no more storage space. So I guess quick note with these Oil King switches, they are very similar in sound profile to the Ink V2s that I have when lubed and filmed, except I think the top out sounds better and the bottom out is just ever so slightly deeper on the oils. They do impress me. I do like them quite a bit. I can see why everyone's so hyped to get their hands on these switches. That being said, I'm not convinced that they're anything super special. We'll see though. We'll see with this build if I really love them. Anyways, just checking to make sure all the pins went through, that I don't have any bent legs. If I did, I will pull them out and redo them now before I get to soldering. And basically all I'm doing is just checking down the row. I missed one last time, so I'm just gonna do the triple check for myself to make sure I'm not going too crazy. Okay, we should be good. Extra switches back in the storage bin. Best to drink some water now. Have my trusty solder. I always have this extra solder bit up here. I'm never sure if I actually need to have it there, but I'll have it there anyways. Alright. So I'm gonna turn crisp on. It might sound like I'm a little bit underwater, but at least you don't hear the fan. Alright, turn on the Hako 951 station. It'll warm up pretty quickly. I'll retin the tip, and then we'll get to soldering. Doing a quick evaluation on how tight all the switches and everything are. I did have a switch here. I did miss one after all. Bent the shit out of that one. Okay. Soldering iron's already heated up in sleep. Okay. Did I miss any others? I even spent the time to check and I stole this stuff. What I'm doing right now is just pressing them in again, because these are 5-pin switches. They should fit in and hug pretty tight. I want to do this before I get to soldering, so I don't have to hopefully wait and then take heat off, press each individual switch back down in, like I had to do with some boards, especially with only 3 pins. So I'm feeling in, press in a little bit and settle into the plate, or the PCB and the plate a little bit. So this check is not in vain per se. Okay. Should be good enough. Open up the tip tinner and let's go at it. Bring up the temperature. Alright, 350. There we go, flowing and melting immediately on there. Clean the tip off with the tip tin compound. Into that. And then retinning the solder heavy amount. Let it burn off for a few seconds, and then deep into the brass sponge you go. Alright, let's get the corners. So the corners I will spend extra time making sure that they're firmly in. Hold them for a few seconds, make sure we have a good solder joint. And get the second pin. Okay. This board is pretty nice. I like the soldering mask on it, black. Always a good color. And with the relatively big contact points for these 3 holes, this is pretty easy to solder. Seems to transfer heat pretty well, and seems to be a pretty good quality board. Everything I would expect for my premium TKL. Alright, let me just do the nav and arrow cluster real quick on this side. Yeah, I don't think I'll need to press in this board. Everything seems to be pretty easy going for the solder. So hopefully this will just be a pretty quick build, and then I can worry about the gaskets. The real fun part of the build. So if anyone's new that wants some soldering tips, guess my view is soldering is sort of simple. If you heat both ends of the things you're trying to join, be it the metal tab from the actual through-hole part of the switch and the socket that's around it, can't go wrong. Components here, let me not burn anything on the board. Good, we good, okay. USB has some extra stuff around it. Just make sure that I solder the stuff in and don't reflow their solder. Their solder should have a different melting point, but I am running at 350, so a little bit on the hot side. I guess I should do a quick sanity check for this again. I don't think they're actually moving, but I do see a little bit more space on some of these than others. Why is that? It's probably with invariance and tolerances, so I think we should be good. Alright. Let me get these pseudo points on the side. Okay. And we're just going to go row from row with the top and then work our way down. I do feel pretty confident with this PCB that it's not going to bow or warp too much despite all the flex cuts. Polycarbonate plate seem to be laying pretty flat, but I will just go and repress each row before I do any soldering, because there's a minor amount of movement that was going on. That was about it. So with solder, again, if you heat up both things that you're trying to fuse together using the solder, and then just push the solder into the area where you need to join on the opposite side of your soldering iron, it should just flow and move. Solder will go wherever the heat is, and it'll go in to fill the voids. So pretty convenient. You don't have to do too much to it. Solder's actually kind of hard to mess up unless you like literally don't know what you're doing, burn a board, or I guess if your hands are so shaky that you cannot hold a soldering iron on a component for long, that might be a slight issue. So with solder, less is more. You don't need a ton, you just need enough. So you see some people put loads and loads of solder on. Definitely don't need to do that. Random Discord notifications on. Let me check real quick. Mr. Zeus Pantera is uploading his YouTube stuff. Interesting. Well, I said I was going to do this. I should do this. So again, just going through, making sure everything's set into the PCB well. Don't want to hear it later and regret, or really have to open up the board and rework. That's what I'm trying to avoid. But this plate and PCB seem to be a pretty good match for each other. So when it comes to choosing solder, thinner is usually easier to work with unless you absolutely need thicker solder for other joints or other projects. And again, you don't really need too much. Once it's wetted and in there, it just flows around where it needs to be, and you're all good. Do you use Flux or Rousing for activated solder? It sort of cleans the joint, prevents oxidation of the joint, and also helps to establish a vacuum. So it basically, instead of there being air there, it does help change the melting point of the solder between the two joints that you're trying to join together. It helps the liquid flow smoothly. So then as it solidifies, it will just take up space where the heat is, residual in the joint, and things will sort of vacuum, suck, and flow into the position that you need them in. So that's sort of, I guess, a quick preamble of how soldering sort of works physical science-wise. It's interesting. But a lot of people think it's difficult. It's not really difficult to do. It is definitely a good skill to have. If you ever need to repair any electronic, soldering is, well, it's been a key skill. Let's put it that way. So other things that I have coming up shortly, I'll have to actually finish and repair my wife's keyboard. She has an old Dell AT101W, an old clickfoot from Dell. That's an Alps board. I was originally planning on repairing that on stream. I'll probably repair that off stream. It's my first time doing an Alps build board thing, so rather than display my incompetence, I'd rather learn in private. Probably watch Kairos Ren videos while I'm doing it so I can learn what I'm doing. And do a better job with her board, you know? She works hard, she deserves a board that she actually wants. And I actually genuinely want to see if I can make it slightly better for her. Some of the keys, for example, don't work, so I'll replace those with, like, I guess, print screen and scroll lock and things that she doesn't use. So, should have enough. I do want to do a little bit of cleaning. I'll actually feel and see if I actually want to clean the Alps keys out. I'm not sure exactly how much they will benefit from it. Guess we'll find out soon enough. But I'm looking at doing that over the weekends. Probably try to maintain a Wednesday build schedule, but I might need a break before I get to the CL, which, even though it's only 60%, I still need to figure out what switch combination and keycaps and stabs I want to use for that. Well, stabs, I guess, is easier. It's gummy O-rings, so I will probably end up using just TX stabs since I really like those for gummy O-rings. I have bought a lot of TX stabs recently. I do plan on using them on a lot of gummy O-ring boards, though, to be fair. Whenever I get Tomo at the end of this quarter, around the end of this quarter, I think that was the last update. We'll be interested in that one, so we'll use TX stabs for sure. Still have a healthy amount of other stabs to use, though, so I'll have to actually see what I got. Since I'm using Stabies today, maybe I'll build the Neo 87 with Owl Stab or something. Just to be slightly different, so it's not all the same all the time. I did get some of the version 2 owl stabs, so I want to see what those are like. Hopefully they're pretty good. So back to this. They're mostly all in place. They move a little bit, so. I forgot to check if GMK Hennessy has step capture now. I'm going to assume it does. Most kits have that nowadays. If not, I will, I guess, cry and redo it. So soldering is pretty boring. I'm almost done. I will test the board, and I'll remember not to close VIA until I'm done with the build tonight, so I don't have to re-sideload it, because I will forget about that. I'll have to go back in, and things will just be dumb if I don't remember. Stab the brass a little bit. Last full row. This has been a pretty painless build so far. Let's hope the gaskets are good and it sounds alright after the fact without foam. Definitely running out of room for boards in my house. So eventually I'm probably going to end up selling things on possibly the KFA marketplace. It's going to be an interesting place. I like KFA as a company and I want to try to support them a little bit like that. Now that they're offering different fees and stuff with their service, I no longer feel guilty about using them as a seller, because otherwise they'd just be losing money hand over fist. So probably end up getting rid of some boards that I don't particularly want or like or use. So one board in particular that I will be looking at getting rid of is the Neo 67 Elements, or Neo Element G67, whatever it's called.
It was mediocre at best. It's a gasket mount. It sounds thin, a little bit on the hollow side. I had to do quite a bit of research and work with it to get it to sound decent. I think it sounds alright the way it is now. Um, just not my favorite board. Not a fan of 65s anyways, so looking to get rid of that board. My Vast round 1 extra. I thought it was a round 2. Apparently it's a round 1 extra. I'll probably end up getting rid of that one too. I like that 60%. I just don't use it in comparison to like all my other 60%. So why bother having it around? If I need space, I'll get rid of it. So what else is there? Oh, my two through-hole boards. My SK Ergo and my Sagaha. I like them. I just never use them. I'm looking at getting the Course 60 in from Keeps for All at some point, whenever that actually ships. And I just don't use it. I should say I don't use my current Ergo boards and don't really think I need to have them just taking up the room in my house. Those will probably be 4 boards I'm looking to get rid of. The 5th one I might get rid of would be my Monster Gears Exo Alu V3. I do like that board, I just, in comparison to all my other TTLs, it's just not as nice, so I just end up not using it as much. So, it's a thing, it's a decision. How confident am I? I will actually turn everything off. I think I'm good. Let's turn crisp off so I no longer sound like an underwater robot person. Let's cap that and plug it back in for testing. There's VIA. Alright, remind me not to close it so I don't have to re-side load it again. Test matrix. Oh, spacebar? I didn't solder spacebar. I feel dumb. If I would have soldered in spacebar, I think it would have worked. Alright. I feel so dumb. I missed it. It's literally right here in front of me, mocking me. 350, we're good. So if anyone's wondering why I usually have crisp on, so you don't hear the fan. Sorry about all the noise, let's turn that off. Redo it. Let's make sure spacebar works. Test matrix. Okay. I should be good. Turn that off. Let's put that minimized. Alright. Turn you off. Move you back. Good. Just move this off my table. Alright, now for an equally as boring part. Sorry, but I always do this for my boards. I will be cleaning it up. So I have PE foam applicators, I have isopropyl alcohol, 99%, piece of paper towel to throw things away with later.
And let's clean the flux off the back of the board. As I always state, I want to clean the flux off the back of my boards because I'm a good boy and it's best practice. Flux gets a little bit weird over time. You should really end up trying to clear it off. It's kind of nasty. You don't want to be around it or touch it. Just like leaded solder. Anyways, I will be cleaning up the board quickly with this. I'm looking at just getting most of the excess stuff that would easily come off or might cause some issues over time later. And again, it's good practice to do. If you work in the electronics industry, you probably are aware that you got to do this for a lot of boards. If you're J standard or 610A or anything like that. And just going to swab over, roll it around, and it just will pick up most of this nasty gunky brown stuff, the resin, the solder, the rosin. And it'll prevent corrosion, it'll prevent issues over time forming. Being slightly acidic and now burned definitely isn't good to be around or eat over or anything like that, but it's on the bottom side of the keyboard, so it's not the biggest hazard. Again, I just find it best practice, and my tendency is just to do what I know, which is clean the board off. So you can see it used to be a nice white, now it's sort of poopy colored as it tries to pull stuff off. And since we're using 99% isopropyl alcohol, don't really have to worry about damaging components or other things on the board. Should be pretty much good to go. So I am looking forward to a typing test from for the Aster Ergo TKL. I am very interested in that board. Highly likely to buy a copy of their premium board with the brass weight. I want to get the navy color with machined lines and silver bottom with the gold weight. I think that would look pretty good. I thought about silkscreen or no silkscreen. I don't really know. I thought about with or without logo. Again, I don't really know. I think that's going to be a nice board. I'm kind of kicking myself for missing out on the Snomo TKL. I think if I got the Snomo TKL, I probably would have just been good. But we'll see what happens when it comes up. I want to hear that typing test, and if it sounds anything like the Snomo, I'll probably jump on that in a heartbeat by the end of the month. We'll see what happens with that one. And then other boards, honestly, I'm kind of just waiting for special boards that I am specifically interested in that I see before really jumping on any of that stuff. I guess we'll see what happens. But I see a bunch of boards coming out, like 75, the Hope, things like that. Not as interested. Whenever Gawk decides to do 7V Part 2 or Round 2 or whatever he wants to call it, I'd be very interested in that one since I missed out on the original 7V. I think that would be a pretty sweet board. That being said, I'm not the biggest fan of 75s either. I think they're probably some of the more appreciated entry looking boards, but I like my long rectangle TKLs. So we'll see. Rectangle TKLs I am more interested in whenever more information comes out. I've been getting more interested in K-pop boards again. I saw the Baby Bird board. I'll just call it that. If you know, you know. Interested in that one. Seems to be very similar to some of the other K-pop boards. RBB, really interested in that one too. Whenever Zek gets more information out on that, I would be very interested in trying to get a spot for that. K-Honey Dual Disc, round version 2. Rounder version, I don't know which, but I've absolutely loved the Perry board that I have and would 100% stand any of his other boards, especially ones where I can put, you know, my various photo cards in. I think there's going to have a wrist rest too. I'll have to see if I can get a wrist rest. So if I can get one and sort of match it up with IU, I think that would be the best case scenario. Talk about excessive, yeah, but I think it would be neat to have. What else is there? I don't know. I'm actually very curious to see what happens with Cable Car Designs Phoenix. From everything that seems to be posted on there, Max seems to be pretty optimistic that that board will run even if it didn't 100% meet MOQ. Not sure if they're putting some of their own funds and money into that and just having extras and hoping that they sell. But I'm actually very interested. Nice big brass piece, a reasonable price for a brass piece, I should say, on the bottom too. Looking forward to that one. Hoping that it does get made. But it seems like some of the keyboard hobby might be slowing down for a little bit. We were going pretty hard for so long. I wouldn't blame anyone for slowing down. I know I'm going to slow down on probably buying boards. One, because of space. Two, I mean, there's only so much to interest me once you get so far in the hobby. And eventually I'll probably end up having to open up commissions just to build other people's stuff. Things that I wasn't particularly interested in, but other people really liked. Just to get some more exposure to things. I guess at some point I'll have to reevaluate my life and see if I have time to do that in the evenings. Because if I don't have time to build my own boards, I don't want to advertise building other people's boards. Because who knows how long that would take. Then again, if I write a contract with somebody, I actually want to do that and be a little bit more motivated too. Because right now I'm sort of, it's all my own whimsy as far as what I can handle, what I can't handle, and things like that. As soon as I make my hobby another job, I mean, I probably hate myself for it, but I probably also like it too. Weird thing, that. Apologies for the heater going on in the background. It's a little bit on the loud side. Whenever I have to do my sound test, I have to dodge around that thing activating in the winter. It's so annoying. Other things going on. So recently I thought about dual miking when I'm doing my sound tests on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do that. I still want it to be representative. I don't want to overhype the sound. But nothing against, nothing. The KM184 sounds nice and wonderful. I think it is a very accurate microphone, but it definitely is missing some of the bass and impact of, say, a Shure S or M7V, MV7. That seems to be what most of keyboard YouTube is doing nowadays. I do have a dynamic, but it's a vocal dynamic, and I'm not sure how close it would really need to be to pick it up, because my dynamic has it's not very hot as far as output, so I'll definitely be looking into that at some point in the future. Just not sure when. If I have time to experiment, I probably will, but you know, it'll It'll be up to my schedule and what I have time to do or not to do. Alright, just doing some detail work with the smaller one. Especially around the power and delivery stuff over here. Alright, that should be good enough. Alright. Put this on the side. So much crap on this desk mat now. Hey. So I will use the white feet, I think. This has a silicone mat in it by default. Let's get rid of that. I like the packaging. Seems to be a lot of packaging, but it does have this nice premium feel to it, especially when you're opening things up for the first time. Silicone sheet packaging. Throw that to the side. Alright. Oh. It's coming off the weight already. Put you back on there, protect the weight. We have this nice floating weight insert thing. Let me get the feet on the back of it so I don't have to think about these again. I am putting the white ones on because why not? This e-white finish looks pretty nice. I'll take another look at it and sort of hold it up to my low-res camera. But my initial look at it just now looks flawless and pretty good for the finish. So recently I did order the Space85 round 3. Again, 65s don't really interest me that much, but why not? Alright. So just looking at this real quickly. We have the badge up here. I'm just going to leave it as the default badge. We have, this looks like acrylic or polycarbonate, not really sure which. Polycarbonate, probably mid-plate piece to help it shine around through. Have a little tab here that sticks out and USB port right in the middle. And we have the large side windows with the diffuser part in there, and you can see some of the detail work We have nice big round filleted outer edges, pretty nice, neat, tight, small fillet inner. Definitely feels nice, rounded, and premium for the board and the finish overall. I don't see any defects on the board from that side. Let's turn it over again and open it up. I will use their supplied bits, so I don't have to dig around and open up and figure out which ones I should be using. It says 2.0 stainless steel. Spare screws. Okay, so I guess if they're spare, I don't need them. Guess we'll see. So I can't say I appreciate them having hex hardware. The more builds that I do, the less I like Phillips. I seem to prefer torque and hex where possible. Okay. And there's always that one screw. Alright, short screws and long screws. They can all chill together for the moment. So let's take a look at the inside of the E-white case finish here. So they did an interesting detail with the corner here. Probably can't see it, but there's a small gap between the actual screw head hole and there. They have a notch cut out too. I'm not really sure why they have that extra detail in there. They also have extra bits here, again cut out. I guess it's to make sure the plate, if it is going to flex, move, deflect, it will not bind. But it does have, okay, so if this is circular here and this is circular here, it's probably just to make sure and assist alignment a little bit. So we have a bunch of gasket tabs here. We have a bunch more gasket tabs on the bottom and poly piece. I want to take this apart further. So stainless steel weight should just screw in. Let me double check and verify that this is as tight as I want it to be. That is, yes, it appears to be. I'm not going to fully take it apart. Okay, that seems to be in there pretty good. We have some words on the inside of the bottom case here. I don't know if my camera's not going to show it, but that's one small step for mankind, that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. We have Space80 Apollo on the back weights. Cool. So I think I have extra gaskets in here. Usually when I make my orders, I try to just order extra gaskets. Let's do a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. So I don't think I actually have extra gaskets. Alright, I'll have to be careful. These are all the same size, it looks like. They're all in relatively same location. Alright. I will do the same method I do whenever I have gaskets. I will start at one corner and peel around the gaskets. The reason why I will do this rather than peel gaskets out directly is so I don't stretch gaskets. No one wants your stretch gaskets. This is how you don't stretch your gaskets. This will also mean that I'm not putting it on the plate. So if I want to switch things up in the future, I am certainly able to do that. Sorry if I'm not talking as much when I'm doing gasket stuff. Slightly annoying, and usually my full concentration's on it, especially if I don't have extra gaskets laying around. Alright. Let me start with the top piece. I don't know how specific I need to be with this board. I'll be as careful and as precise as I can be. These are not the thickest gaskets. They are fairly plushy, and I'm assuming that they're actually really there just to do the actual isolation of the plate and case for acoustic purposes, rather than, say, typing feel. All right. So far, so good. Seems like isolation gasket mounts was mostly 2021. This year I've seen some isolation gasket mounts, but so far, maybe this is the year of gummy O-ring mount, I don't know. Always curious to see what mounting styles people will prefer in the near future. So I'm going to turn it just so I keep the lighting about the same for wherever I'm putting the gaskets, so I don't have to relearn that little bit of manual dexterity. All right. Flying right along. Hey, Kerbal, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. How's it going, man? Been a while. Haven't stopped by your shop recently. Let's see what's going on.
Just been heading down doing regular office work stuff recently.
Hopefully things are going well for you and your website. Thought you followed me in the past? Yeah, who knows. Honestly, I was playing dead for about a month just because I was busy at work, so hard to say. I wouldn't fault you if you thought my channel was dead. Alright. Almost done with the top case, and we'll move on to the bottom case. Dark Mode Media. Hey, thanks for the follow. Sometimes Twitch unfollows people randomly. Yeah, that's very true too. Thank you for the follow. Alright, 1, 2. Oh man, my eyes. It's hard to see on the shine through piece here where the cutouts are, marking for the gaskets. I'll do my best to squint and find them. Thought about putting things on the plate, but since we do have that FR4 plate, I'd rather do it like this, just in case I want to change things up sometime in the future, you know? Anyways, I thought about using the FR4 plate originally, but since I'm using the Gateron Oil King switches, just wanted to go for polycarbonate. these up. And let me punch these out again real quick too. Alright. And again, I'm punching the gaskets out this way so I don't stretch anything out. Bit of a pain to do, but having done a few gasket boards, I find this to be the less annoying thing rather than trying to stuff gaskets into smaller gaps that they honestly just will not fit in anymore because you've stretched the gasket slightly. So, oh no, that one ripped over there. Huh. Alright. Let me try to get this from the other side real quick. Adhesive sticking to me. Feels so good. Okay. There we go. Whew. All right. Let's see if I can get done by a reasonable time so I can get some sleep tonight. I'll have to cut that later. How big of a cut is that? That's to there almost. All right. Doing the best for my eyeballs this late at night. I want to cut a little bit shorter just in case. All right. Move the top over there. Ooh, come on, pick up. There we go. Went to the eye doctor recently. He's like, yeah, you don't have a change in prescription. My eyes tonight, man, I'll tell you what. Maybe I should have asked him for like bifocals. I feel like I'm just getting too old. Almost done with the build. Put it together, throw some keycaps on it, and then typing test, and then I'm going to bed after a brief cleanup because I have work tomorrow. have to do a lot of work in the next 2 days actually. I need to strategically plan my energy and try to get some sleep where possible. So I might even delay a sound test for tomorrow to get some other work done. Definitely get a sound test up before the weekend though. And luckily, since I haven't stretched out the gaskets, putting them in is pretty easy. Don't have to worry too much about it. Say that now before I eat my words and I try to piece it together and things just don't match. That would be my luck. Or should I say just never lucky. That's usually the way it goes. All good though. Well, yes. All right, one more. All right. And that should be all the gaskets. This should just sit here nicely. Top case should go on top. Let me do it the other way around real quick. Yep, everything fits in. Okay, PC plate, a little bit on the tight side for fitting in, but not an issue. Ooh, you can hear it doing a little bit of snappy snap in. Interesting. All right. So I still gotta feel it in on the top here. Interesting. Okay, so it's not actually that bad. Cool. Alright, long screws in the back, close it up. And opposite side. Get the four corners in and make sure everything aligns nicely. Wait, I'm missing one short screw somewhere. What happened? Oh, here it is. It's a derp moment. So I have to say I really like the tray I'm hiding behind my face here on the camera. This little Alchemy Lab Tray is actually pretty neat. Originally I bought a few like auto mechanic sort of silicone, pretty rough looking ones originally, because I'm like, no one really cares about screw trays. I actually really like this one. I also got a Hibby You're the Tiger tray, since I am You're the Tiger. So actually very interested whenever that comes to see exactly what that one's about. Should be pretty fun. And I'll probably be scared to use it because the the pictures of it, just, it looks gorgeous. I can't wait to actually get that. Okay. Move you to the side. Let's check the side and the profiles real quick. Yes, it fits back together just fine. With the gap in there, I guess it's sort of hard to tell if it is just fine or not, but the front, if we look down this angle here, nice and together, nothing to worry about. Alright, throw all the extra gaskets into a bag, with this into the bag. I don't know if I'm ever going to use this, but again, if it's specifically just for this one, I have my nice magnetized WIA stainless steel one over here. I'll probably keep it separate. I don't know if what I'll do with this one. Guess I could run it through the magnetizer and use it elsewhere, but if I already have a decent set, probably don't need to use it. Stuff everything else extra back in the bag so I don't lose it. Or I should say, when I do lose it, I'll be lost in the same place. Alright, so for this Stormtrooper E-White board, of course we have GMK Hennessy, because why not? I ordered this forever ago when I ordered the board, or around the same time I should say. And thought this will be a good match. So you have Gateron Oil Kings and Stabies. Interesting. Where's the keycaps? Oh, sorry. Bumped the mic. Regular escape key's fine. I don't want to use the H for Hennessy, whatever. Kinda don't care though. The board has quite a bit of movement and flex. So I was discussing this earlier. Does this have step caps? It does. Thank you. I'm always worried if sets do or don't. Luckily it does. That's what I soldered in. Be a real shame if it didn't. Alright. Throw the keycaps on. Very simple looking board. It says I turn the lights on for the RGB. I'm not sure what I want to do with that though. I'll probably keep some RGB on since it's like a feature of the board, but never really been in love with the full RGB look. But may as well embrace it since it's like a feature, you know? Only thing I don't necessarily love about, I guess, GMK Hennessy or a lot of base kits with word-only mods, I do like usually either combination word and written legend. If it's just written legend, it's okay in my opinion, but I think I do prefer the combination. I actually have this back up on screen. Cool. Alright. Got some bars. Excellent. I tried typing with scooped, and I can't type with scooped well. What? Get on there. Click, 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 click. Alright, B and N. I guess I need these. PCB has a decent amount of space to move. That's good. Complete this bottom row since I was eyeing these keys up earlier. Got the system. So, should be this print, scroll, pause. Inserts, home, page up. Delete and page down. Yeah, words look a little bit busy on this, but overall I still think it looks pretty clean. I don't have a major complaint, except for this GMK tray shedding crap all over my desk mat. I hate these things. Hey. Seriously. Gross. I have to like vacuum this thing later. Feels bad, man. Alright. And just one more verification. Okay. What was N key rollover? N probably. Okay, that's definitely N key rollover. We good. Why did music stop? I don't know. Interesting. Guess I do need monkey type up though. Where's monkey type? Is this monkey type? Why is this so dark? Fine, I'll accept your cookies. There we go, we can see again. Rather that top center it. Before I do a typing test, actually, let me move the microphone so it's actually sounding better. Gonna mute myself, be right back. Okay, I am on microphone in alternate position. I'm about one of my hand length away. And let's stop the music. Let me pull up monkey type and prepare to be underwhelmed by my slow typing speed. Let me change that down to 30 seconds because I'm tired. And we'll do like one or two of these. Alright, mouse clicks, keyboard level. Change my position so I sit well. And here's for nothing. Okay, slow typing aside, a little bit on the muted side. Let's listen to the mods. I think it sounds pretty good. Sounds muted, but again, using Gateron oil switches, I kind of would have expected it. Sound I was going for? Yeah, pretty much. I thought it was going to be muted. I think, if anything, the only thing I might try differently if I was to redo everything would probably try some sort of long pull switch. But overall, I'm pretty happy. So typing feel is actually pretty good. Like, you feel a decent amount of vibration across the board. It's pretty cushiony, but it's pretty well controlled as far as having a nice bottom out that's not too crazy flexy, but still comfortable. So I do like it. Yeah, well, I mean, so let me pull out my frog. So let me move this back a little bit. I'll put my frog on the table. Yeah, I like Flex too. For me, it's more or less, it's comfortable to type on. It feels like I could type on it all day without having real issues. So this is a half plate frog. Half plate frog. This is Cherry MX Black with Kale Black stems. Definitely has that poppier sound that's louder. This is definitely on the more muted side. I do like the sound of this though, and the character overall, especially just for an office board, or if I have to type during a call. I am conscious, or a little bit self-conscious, when I'm typing on a board like this on a call, for example. So yeah, what other boards could I compare it to? Guess I could compare it to IU, but hey, Cujo26, how's it going, man? Nice to see you around. It's been a while, yeah. Been busy with work. Let's pull up the IU. So IU is usually the board that I have. Need to build my frog out of palm plate. I wish half plate been available at the time. Nice. Have also been busy at work? Yeah, I don't know. Just so busy recently. So one of the boards that has quickly become a favorite sound of mine has really been, this board. This is aluminum Vin MX Blacks. Really like it. Absolutely pants on head. Oh man. 410 plus applications. Too much work, too much. But again, this board just has a more muted, subdued sound, whereas I do like this board, one, for the feel, and two, the sound that it makes. It's just a different thing. For an isolation gasket mount, I think the sound's reasonably deep. I also think it feels pretty darn good to type on. So, put IU back in the purple Kaban bag, secure it. I'll be back on my desk later tonight, but for now, let's do one more typing test with Space80. Then, of course, I'll bring it into my office, probably for the next 2 or so days, to type on the Space80. Yeah, I don't know, IU just hits different. Like, that board is, I really like it. I do think it's pretty special. So glad I got it. Alright, typing's guaranteed to be slower the second time around. It's almost 2:30. At that point, I'm just going to need to pass out and go to sleep. So, mouse clicks again, keyboard level. And yeah. So my thoughts on this board. I like it. It's definitely has more of a muted sound and character to it. But feel-wise, this feels very comfortable. Yeah. If the Space65 feels like this, I think people are going to be very happy with the Space65. And me, again, I don't love 65s. I like some of them. I think I might like the Space65 a lot. I'm looking forward now to that board whenever it comes sometime next year, probably. But yeah, the vibrations, the feel, the comfort of the bottom mount experience with just regular switches, I like. I have to say, I was a little bit hesitant about using the Gateron Oil Kings as I was lubing and filming them. So, like, just holding them to my ear, and you can even hear it here. It pretty much doesn't have any other characteristic or noise besides this top and bottom out. And I was missing that cherry scratch, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy because I like scratch, but yeah. That was my main concern and thought on that. I guess I'll turn music back on. No one just wants to hear me talking. Anyways, very impressed with this board. I think I'm going to actually enjoy typing on it quite a bit at work tomorrow and probably Friday as well. I'll try to get a sound test out when I can, especially for a board that's sort of muted like this. I might actually really look into dual miking this board. I think that might actually help bring out some of the character that I'm hearing that might not come across so much on the microphone. But again, you know, it has all that sort of bass. It's pretty shallow in the case, so it doesn't have a whole lot of reverb, but it has just enough space that, you know, it has a little bit of depth and separation in the sound, which is pleasing, I have to say. I think this board is pleasing, if nothing else. Yeah. So that's been my Space80 experience. I guess I will attempt to find somebody to hand people off to. I really like this little bit on top here. Easier to lift up. Let me look on Twitch for keyboard streamers to go to. Anyone has any person that they think would work well, please shout it out, let me know. So we have Tim Keyless, I guess that'd sort of be the default choice. Cirrus Palm. What other people on here? Anyone that we don't know or anyone that... Lego Build, Lego Stream. A lot of Lego Stream. Yeah, I think I might go CG Bune. Been a while. Hex 4B, Orange Alps. I'm more interested in the Orange Alps. Someone with low viewership? Yeah, well, is there anyone in keyboards right now that has lower viewership? RTA Kant, that's Axelos Studio. Sure, why not? Let me figure out how to copy his name. Copy. Alright. Alright, so thank you everybody for coming. We're going to Axel Studio Simono. Anyways, going over, please be nice. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to stop by again. I'll probably be building a CL in the next week or two. I'll see how busy I am. And then after that, I have the Neo 87 TKL. Looking forward to building that. I might actually use CRP on that one. I'm not really sure. I'm also not sure what I'm going to do with that one. It's just a weird build. And then I'll have to figure out what I'm doing for the next few builds as things come in. But anyways, thanks for stopping by my stream, and let's go say hi to Axel Studios. Alright, heading over there now, guys. Thank you. See you later. Have a good night.
Hello friends. Oh, I got a raid? From where? Thank you for the raid. I am currently showing a board that we are doing. This is a private run board that I designed. Very weed, based off of Ishtar from Fate. Yeah, this is what we're doing today. Thanks for the follow, J-Verb. And we're just messing around with the boards I've designed, sound tests. This is probably the other over the top. You might have seen this one float around on the internet if you're into keyboards. Maybe you've seen this one float around, I don't know. Flex boards, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So this one is Saber. Yeah, I am the designer of this, so ignore my desk. I don't have a mic arm, so it doesn't sound particularly good. This is another one. This is Rene, or I don't remember what it's called, like Pavolia or something. That's that. Here's another one. This is the beta. This is a full plate with H1s. Here is a half plate carbon fiber of the same board with alpacas. Actually, and then here is the one that's currently on group buy that you might have seen. This is the Gamma. Here, this might be better if I move it like this. spacebar is a little ticky because I couldn't fix my wire for some reason, and it's really annoying me. And then here is the Alps plate that fits in the Gamma. I still have to fully, like, I have to print out a better plate, but this is Alps, I believe, oranges or something like that. They're tactile. Yeah, this is Alps. Alps are my favorite switches probably of all time. I absolutely adore Alps, but like, and most of my boards have Alps compat. So Gamma PCB naturally comes with Alps compat, but I'm still working on the plate and trying to finalize a few things. And I'm getting a plate prototyped right now by like a properly cut out, so that's gonna take a while. But I'm planning on releasing the Alps plate as open source when the goodbye ends, or when it fulfills. I haven't decided, but once I flushed it out and made sure it's good to go, I will be releasing this to the public. But so far, Alps my favorite. Yeah. So yeah, here's the PCB if in case you're wondering. The lilac one, yeah. Here's the bottom of it, but this color's not available for a group buy, but this is what it looks like. Here's the side profile. Kill zoom. Here's a corner butt shot. Yeah, one-off weird champ. I don't know. And then what else do I have that is within my immediate reach? I don't want to go grab boards. I am already buried in them. I can put this away now. This is not important. Saber is also not important. I can put this away. But yeah, all of them are gasket except for this one. This one's top mount. If you want this one, you can grab the extra tomorrow in the afternoon for a lot. It's so stupid. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Here's the side profile of this. And then here's the back. More angles. How much is the extra? 1,550. 1,850. My brain is no longer working. And then for you filthy weebs out there, here's the PCB for this. Yeah. Here's the back side. These were the PCBs I was mil-maxing, hence the title Mil-Max Till You Drop, or Mil-Max RTA or something like that. I was too busy I think in 2 sittings I did like 25 of these. And I think this total time is 16 hours, 17 hours. My sanity